that is what you've chosen to do as your career for right now. And we hope that you're able to use this video and the resources that we provide in order to improve the care that you provide for children on a daily basis.
Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Well, back in the 50s, there was a licensing law on the Oklahoma books, but it wasn't very strong, and it excluded more child care programs than it included. And so there was a child care program at the time. It was a residential program where children lived full-time that wasn't doing very good care for children. Children were at risk there. They didn't have any health and safety measures in place, and they used behavior and guidance. They didn't have any kind of standards for the care and protection of children. And so when the public realized what was going on at this facility, they got together with the Department of Human Services at that time and decided that they needed to strengthen the licensing law. And so the first Child Care Advisory Committee was named, and it was primarily these residential programs that existed in Oklahoma. And together they wrote the first set of licensing standards that were going to govern the health and safety of children in care. And that was through the 50s and in the 60s. And so the first true licensing act that was strong passed in 1963. We've recently celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Licensing Act.
As the time back in the 60s when we worked with the child care programs to come up with the law and the standards, we do that today. The child care programs work hand in hand with child care services in coming up with those standards. And we like to think that we work cooperatively. If there's a standard that doesn't seem to be working or there's issues with, that we like to work with the programs in order to make any changes with those.
It's really our mission to ensure that children are cared for in safe and healthy environments. And that's also the mission of child care programs. So we have that in common, and we may come about it from different ways. Ours is through regulation and collaboration, and then theirs is through actual daily care. And so the end result is the same, though: healthy and safe environments for kids.
The requirement for child care providers in any setting are very important, as they're the minimum standard. And in working with the providers and with other experts in the field, such as with our health department representatives and fire department representatives, we try to come up with what is the minimum standard where children are still safe in child care. We have programs all across the state that go above and beyond the minimum standards, and we encourage that with as we go out and work with the programs. But what we're going for is that children are not hurt in child care, and that the programs want that same goal as well. And so I think for the most part, programs do appreciate the fact that there are those minimum standards there that help them be able to keep the children safe while they're in care at their programs.
Licensing requirements provide the industry with guidelines. These guidelines are an absolute necessity in ensuring healthy and safe environments for children. Meeting standards and guidelines in any industry can present challenges. However, consistency in how requirements are met helps to ensure the quality of care children receive on a daily basis. Having a working knowledge of licensing requirements is the responsibility of every employee. Your director and licensing specialist are there to clarify, share ideas and resources, and to assist you in meeting requirements. My time with you will highlight a few areas that are critical to your success as a new staff member. In your new role as a child care provider, It is important to become familiar with the policies and procedures at your program. Policies and procedures are developed to protect children, but they will also protect you. Policies should be reviewed before you begin your daily work with children. Having a clear understanding of your role in carrying out policies will make you a more effective staff member. Every program has its own set of policies, which are somewhat unique to that particular work environment. Therefore, make sure you have access to your policies and refer to them often. A few examples of policy would be the release of children. How does your program identify who a child can be released to? And if there is a change in pickup routine, how is that verified? Another policy might deal with your program's view on discipline and how discipline issues are communicated to parents. Now let's discuss some duties and responsibilities. As a new staff member, you will want to review the job description for your position. There are clear guidelines found in licensing requirements that can provide an outline of duties and responsibilities expected for each position. Be sure you have asked your director for a detailed overview of expectations for your assigned position. The direct care of children in a healthy and safe learning environment is always the first consideration. However, there are a number of duties outside the direct care of children. These responsibilities must fit into your very busy day. It's very important that the schedule for these duties does not interfere with the quality of care and supervision you are providing to children. It is critical that you and other staff work cooperatively to carry these duties out in a safe and efficient manner. One example would be to schedule toy sanitizing. It is your responsibility to know how and when these duties should be handled at your program. Building relationships is a key element to your success in the classroom. You have the responsibility to build those relationships with the children in your care and their families. The relationship you build with coworkers will also directly impact your success. In working closely with families, you will be entrusted with private information that impacts the child's care needs. As a professional, you must always remember the need for confidentiality. Circumstances will arise on a daily basis that require additional staff having knowledge of confidential information. The first example that comes to mind would involve custody agreements. If there is a change in who is authorized to pick up a child at the end of the day, you should have clear directions from your director and clear policies to refer to on how this information should be shared when the need arises. Another area that may require confidentiality is dealing with individualized health needs. Many times there will be health concerns or other individual care needs that must be addressed. It's important to have a procedure in place that ensures any staff person involved in the process of meeting that care need knows where to find that information, while still respecting the confidential nature of such information. In the case of a food allergy, anyone preparing food or even a substitute in the classroom would need to know how to obtain the information to keep the child safe and healthy. One way to preserve confidentiality would be to have a cover sheet labeled allergies over the list of the children's names and classroom information. It is important that you know where and how these postings are located in your facility to ensure children's needs are met. Circumstances over the past few years have made planning for a variety of emergencies a necessity. Your program director will have created procedures for multiple emergency events, from the standard fire evacuation to man-made disasters. There will be a schedule for practicing and reviewing the procedures for each type of event. It is necessary for you to familiarize yourself with each type of emergency and the procedure you need to follow. There are varied responsibilities during these procedures as well, so make sure you are aware of all the details concerning your position during these procedures. Be sure to know all of these procedures in detail and practice them as scheduled with your children. The goal in pre-planning is to ensure the safety of children and staff from the minute your doors open. This concludes my time with you. I wish you much success in your new adventure as a child care provider. Remember, your director and licensing specialist are there to help you in your journey to provide quality care for the children entrusted to you.